He worked at Glasshouse Co., a building of windows so clear you could almost believe it was honest. Mark Reynolds had been there 10 years, long enough to stop believing that effort spoke for itself, but too loyal to admit it out loud. He was the kind of man who showed up early, the kind who held doors open, said thank you to printers that jammed, and remembered birthdays no one else did. And still, each morning, he straightened his tie like a soldier adjusting armor. Because in this place, you didn't show up to be seen, you showed up to avoid being noticed. Glasshouse was the kind of company that worshipped productivity, but prayed in silence. Its walls were made of transparency, but its heart was opaque. Everyone smiled, everyone congratulated each other on synergy and core values, and everyone was afraid. Fear lived there politely, in inboxes, in memos, in the way people's eyes slid away when someone was under review. That morning, Mark found the email. Subject line, performance review, immediate attention required. It wasn't from his manager. It was from HR. He stared at it for a long time, then opened it. Inside were 5 words that meant nothing and everything. Please meet at 10 a.m. He scrolled through his memory for sins. Had he missed a report? Overwritten a file? Spoken too honestly in that meeting? Nothing came to mind, but his pulse didn't believe him. Because at Glasshouse, you didn't need to do something wrong. You just needed to stop fitting perfectly into the shape the company wanted you to be. The meeting room was glass, of course, so that transparency could hide in plain sight. Across from him sat Karen from HR, smiling like someone reading condolences off a script. Beside her, Robert, his division head, avoided eye contact, the way people do when they've already decided not to help. And then there was a third person, a stranger from corporate compliance, the kind of presence that made everyone straighten their spines. Mark, the stranger, said, "We've received an anonymous concern regarding inconsistencies in your department's reporting. This is not disciplinary, just a clarification meeting." The words were clean, sterile, corporate holy water. He asked what inconsistencies. They didn't answer. The stranger just wrote something on a pad, as if the question itself proved guilt. When it was over, Mark signed a paper that said only, attended review, acknowledged discussion. He left the room with no accusation, no clarity, just the feeling that somewhere quietly the ground had started to tilt. He sat back at his desk, the hum of the computers suddenly unbearable. His co-workers typed, smiled, fetched coffee. The world went on as though nothing had happened. But he could feel it, the way silence thickened around him, the way eyes looked, then didn't. Rumors moved faster than emails. He's being audited. I think it's fraud. No, personal conduct. They said it softly, kindly even, as if pity could hide cruelty. At Glasshouse, empathy was the first symptom of distance. He stayed late that evening, searching every file, every email, as though somewhere inside the data there might be proof of his innocence. But innocence, he realized, isn't a fact. It's a story, and the company had stopped reading his. The screen's light made his face look older than it was. A notification pinged. Another email. Follow-up meeting 8 a.m. tomorrow. No signature, no greeting. He laughed quietly. A brittle sound that startled even him. The second meeting was smaller. 2 people this time. The language was gentler. Phrases like policy variance, possible oversight, data discrepancies. He said, "If I made a mistake, tell me. I'll fix it." Karen smiled. "We just need you to trust the process." The process. The same phrase they used for system updates, server migrations, and now for dismantling a man's life. He walked out of that room with a strange calm. It wasn't acceptance, it was disbelief stretched thin. Days blurred, meetings, whispers, empty coffee cups. Co-workers stopped CCing him. His keycard failed once. System glitch, they said. He laughed again, softly, the way a man laughs in church when he's forgotten the prayer. At home, his wife asked what's happening. "They're reviewing me," he said. "For what?" "They won't say." She bit her lip, nodded. "Maybe it's nothing." He smiled to make it easier for her. But he knew, at Glasshouse, nothing was the most dangerous thing to be accused of. One night he returned to his cubicle and found it empty. His nameplate gone, drawers cleared, computer unplugged. He stood there a long time. It was strange. The emptiness wasn't loud, it was polite. A security guard approached, holding a clipboard. "Mr. Reynolds, HR's waiting for you downstairs." He nodded, as if he'd been expecting it all along. The ride down felt endless. Every floor number dinged like a countdown. When the doors opened, Karen was there again, behind a polished desk, papers neatly stacked. "There's been a restructuring," she said. "Your role has been made redundant." He looked at her. "Do I get to appeal?" She hesitated, then said, "Of course," and then softly, "But it won't change the outcome." He signed the papers. Same signature, same pen. When he turned to leave, no one looked up. The receptionist pretended to answer a call. The door closed behind him with the quiet authority of finality. Mark stood in front of the building that had been his life. He held a cardboard box, photo frame, coffee mug, plaque that said Employee of the Year 2018. Rain started. He didn't move. It soaked the box until the ink on the plaque began to blur. For the first time in a decade, no one was watching him. And for the first time in his life, he realized how much of himself had only existed through other people's approval. He whispered to the air, "I didn't do anything." And somewhere, the city answered by not answering at all. Amy found him sitting in the dark, the severance envelope still sealed beside him. He didn't look up when she came in. "They never said what I did," he murmured. "They just made me believe I must have." She knelt beside him, took his hand, and for a long time, neither spoke. Then she said, "You didn't need to be perfect, Mark. You just needed to be human. But that's the one thing they can't measure." He nodded slowly, as if the truth was too heavy to hold all at once. He woke early the next day and walked through town before the streets filled. The bakery on the corner was opening, the smell of bread spilling into the air. A young man swept the sidewalk, humming to himself, careless, alive. Mark watched him for a moment and felt something shift, something small, like an old hinge unsticking. He smiled, a real one this time, not for anyone's approval, not for survival, just for himself. The Glasshouse building would move on. Another nameplate would take his place. His email would deactivate. His desk would host new pens, new fears. The company would issue statements about integrity and excellence. But Mark's trial ended quietly that morning, not with a verdict, but with a realization. He had spent his whole life defending himself to systems that could never love him. And the moment he stopped, the sentence was over. He wasn't guilty. He was just tired of proving he wasn't. He let the rain fall on his face, felt the weight of it roll down his skin, felt the quiet dignity of being small, alive, and free. Because sometimes absolution doesn't arrive from the world that accused you. It comes from the moment you decide to forgive yourself for believing them. And so he walked home through the rain, empty box under his arm, a heart lighter than it had been in years. And though no one at Glasshouse noticed, the truth, the quiet, merciful truth, was that he had finally stepped outside the trial. He was free.